Hello, greetings everyone. Welcome back to Spiritual Growth Journeys. Make sure my microphone is close enough for me here. How y'all doing wherever you are in the world? So, I'm going to ask you all for a huge favor. So, because I share a lot of truth here, the dark powers that be at YouTube do not like me, and they have been blacklisting me. And what they've been doing is removing my subscribers by the tons. And I've had a lot of people, I thought, oh, maybe people are just unsubscribing because they don't like my content. Wrong. I have lots of people messaging saying they were subscribed and now they're unsubscribed, and they didn't unsubscribe. YouTube did it to them. And my numbers are just falling like hotcakes. So they're just falling like crazy. They're falling like rain. So I'm going to ask you guys a favor to please go in and check if you're subscribed to this channel. And if you are not, can you please subscribe to help me get the numbers back up? Because if the numbers, if they desubscribe everyone down to hardly anything, then nobody's going, it changes the algorithm. So nobody will ever see the videos unless people send them to their friends and whoever. It just causes a lot of trouble. And my videos are not monetized at all. That might also be pissing them off because I don't want to have hundreds of TV commercials selling you shit on this channel. And if I monetize it, then they're going to have commercials every few minutes. So I keep the monetization off, which means I don't get any money for this work I'm doing. So if you like what I'm doing and you want to donate, there is a link there below. I think there's two links. There's one for paypal.me to donate to PayPal. There's also Buy Me a Coffee. You're welcome to donate to this channel if you'd like. It helps to pay a lot of bills I incur doing the work. In order to do this work I'm doing to help you guys, I have a long laundry list of things I have to pay for, like my YouTube channel and just a whole bunch of things I have to pay for, including my electronic devices and new ones when the other ones break and so forth. So, so I appreciate all the donations, and I want to say thank you so much to all the wonderful, beautiful people who have been donating to my channel and keeping me afloat here, because without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this. My husband would have ended my video making a long time ago if I didn't have any kind of funding coming in at all from anywhere, because he'd want me to go get a full-time job. And because of the industry I used to work in, I'd be working so many hours a week that I wouldn't have time anymore to do any of this spiritual work. It wouldn't be good. So so I just wanted to take time out to say thank you so much to everyone who's been supporting the channel. I really appreciate all of you. And before we get started today, I would like to help you all to do a little bit of chakra clearing. So I'm going to have you guys do a little exercise with me here in a minute. But before we do that, I just wanted to kind of tell you what the topic of this video is today. I asked Yeshua, what do you want me to talk about? Because I had no clue what he wanted me to talk about. And honestly, I had some weird stuff happen here this week. I have a altar set up in my room here that's got a little statue of Yeshua and pictures of him, and it's got my crystals, and it's got some of my tuning forks and my bell, and some other little statues like angels and a dragon and stuff like that. But it's my little prayer altar. And above the prayer altar on the wall, all over the wall, are pictures of Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, some other, some female archangels. I've got multiple pictures of Yeshua and Miriam up there. I have one that's Yeshua with, it's actually a plaque that I got in a monastery in Greece. One of those monasteries that's up high on a big like cliff in Meteora, Greece. It was such an incredible place. I really want to go back there again and spend more time there. They actually have like I think 20 monasteries there or something like that. They used to have like 60 or more, and a lot of them got shut down over the years. But I think they have like under 20, I think maybe it was 18 still in operation that people can go visit. And some of them you can even go stay there. But I got a beautiful iconic picture of Yeshua as a baby with Mother Mary. And those are above my altar. So what happened this past week, the last actually like 3, 4 days ago, is the picture of Archangel Michael kept falling down repeatedly onto my altar. It just kept coming off the wall on its own. It was just popping itself off the wall, which is not something that would normally happen unless somebody came up and ripped it off. So I knew there was something going on. And then I was ignoring that. So then the picture of Yeshua started popping off with it. Both of them started coming off. And I'm like, okay, you guys obviously want to talk to me about something. So I sat down a few days ago, about 3 days ago with them, and had a chat with them to find out what was going on. And they gave me a whole bunch of news of stuff that is happening on the earth that I'm not allowed to talk about at all with anyone. They told me I'm the only one, pretty much myself and Mikala. Said I could share it with Mikala, but I'm not allowed to share it with anyone else. And nothing against you guys. It's just that they don't want the dark ones to know their plans and what they're doing to clean the planet up and to remove evil from the planet right now. They don't really want them knowing what they're up to. Because then when they know, if you let the bad guys know what is going to happen to them, it gives them a chance to run and hide or whatever. So I can't say what's going on. I just want to reassure you that we have amazing beings of light that are looking out for our highest good and that are helping us, supporting us, and loving us from the higher dimensions. And they are doing a lot of work on this planet to clean it up and to help us so that we can ascend with the planet to the higher density consciousness levels. So I had that little talk with them. And then today it happened again. So I haven't had a chance to sit down and have a chat with Archangel Michael, but I'm going to talk with him later, either tonight or tomorrow. I have to actually make time to talk to them because I'm going to share a little secret with you all. When I have a talk with these beings, let's say that I tell myself I'm going to just spend 10 minutes talking to them. 4 hours will go by. Okay. So it's like, I will literally set a timer, and I'll go in and I'll talk to them for what seems like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe. And hours will have gone by, sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. And it really freaks me out. It really, really freaks me out. So I had a chat with Yeshua and Mikala, actually, medium Mikala, who you all know, who has the Christ Phoenix Rising channel. And the three of us were talking, and I was explaining how when I chat with them, literally the time just flies. It's awful because it'll be like 2 a.m. I'll start talking to them at like 10 o'clock and say, okay, I'm going to talk to you from 10 o'clock to 10:30. And then when I'm done talking to them, I look at the clock and it's like 2 a.m. and I'm like, what the hell? So what they explained is that there's no time where they're at. There's no time where they're at. And that when I'm having a conversation with them, my consciousness is actually being drawn out of me into where they are. I'm being brought to where they are, where there is no time. And then when I'm coming back to myself again, when I'm done talking to them, a lot of time has passed by on the earth. So it would be similar to if you had a near-death experience where, let's say, you were dead for 5 minutes, but it seemed like you were in heaven for 5 years, and you come back and it's literally just a few minutes later. It's because there's no time over there. So when I'm talking to them, it could be literally hours that go by in just a matter of minutes. And so it's hard for me to have conversations with them because I am a mom, I have a family that I'm taking care of, I have a lot going on, I have a sick a really sick child that I mean, she's an adult child, but she lives with me and she's very sick. She has a lot of issues. She's basically disabled and she has a lot of health issues going on. And right now she's got a respiratory thing going on, and I'm trying to help her and bring her tea and food and help her and take care of her, and then all the other stuff I do, and then all the other people I'm helping, all my clients and other stuff I'm doing, and then making these videos. So I just don't have the time to be able to sit and talk to them for 5 hours. And so it makes it really hard, because as much as I would like to just talk to them all the time continuously, I'd be like a vegetable for days and hours on end, and it's just not, it's not worth it to it's not fair to my family to do that. So it's hard to find the time where I know if I have a chat with them, I'm going to have a 4 hour period of time or a 3 hour period of time to just sit and talk to them, because to me, I'm thinking it's only 10 minutes, but my consciousness is out to lunch, I guess. And when I'm back to normal, it's hours later. It's crazy. So I just want to point that out. So right now what we're going to do is I want to do, I'm sorry, I forgot to say what I got distracted and I forgot to say, and I apologize, you guys, I have ADD really bad. I wanted to tell you what he asked me. So I was having this conversation with him, and then I asked, what do you want me to talk to everybody about? And he said, I want you to talk to them about how to make sense out of all the really horrific crap that's happening on the planet. And he said he wants us to know that it's going to get worse. Things are going to get very bad on the earth. And so he wants me to help you all make sense of it. So I'm actually going to be opening up my book, Ascension 101, and reading some stuff out of there and extrapolating on that, because I did address some of this in the book with him. And then I have the card of the week that he pulled, and we're going to talk about that. And that's going to really help all of you with some of the crazy stuff that's going on the earth. It's going to give you a little bit more support and some love and some help with your journey. So that is what we're talking about today. So let me go ahead and I want you to close your eyes. And I'm going to have you focus on your root chakra. I'm actually using my drum. I have a big, huge drum here. It is a tin drum, and it's tuned to 432 hertz. And we are going to clear your chakra system a little today. So I want you to close your eyes and take 3 really deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. So you're going to go. We call upon our Father, Mother, God, who made our souls, and the angels to place multi-layered, multi-dimensional shields of protection around everybody watching this video now, around myself, around my electronics, and the Wi-Fi here. We ask for help from Archangel Michael and the angels to protect every single person who's watching this video. We call in the light of Christ consciousness, the diamond light of Father, Mother, God, the golden light of Christ consciousness into this time and space. The violet flame, we invoke the violet flame, a transmutation into this time and space. And we call upon these 3 beautiful frequencies to help clear, cleanse, and transmute any stuck energy, any blocks, any negative energy from the body, mind, and spirit, and the chakra system of everyone who is watching this video now, as well as from my own self. We ask for all blocks to be cleared across all time, all space, all places, all dimensions, all realms, realities, universes, and in this now moment. Okay, now I want you to focus your attention on your root chakra. Just focus on your root chakra, and I want you to see the white light, and then the golden light, and then the violet flame swirling around your root chakra, which is where your tailbone is located. See white light, golden Christ consciousness, violet flame, cleansing out your root chakra. I want you to focus on your sacral chakra, which is between your navel and your tailbone. And I want you to see the white light come through there. And see the golden light come through. And then the violet flame. See it go all the way through from the front of your body to the back of your body. Clearing, cleansing, and transmuting any negative energies or stuck energies or blocks that you have in your sacral chakra. See that light swirling around in your sacral area. Now I want you to focus on your solar plexus. Your solar plexus is located right below your rib cage, between your rib cage and your belly button. See that white light going through that area, and then the golden Christ light, followed by a burst of beautiful purple violet flame, clearing and transmuting anything out of your solar plexus that is stuck. Now I want you to focus on your heart chakra, which is right in the center of your chest where your heart is. And see that white light. Beautiful white light, and then golden light. And then see a big burst of violet flame coming through, purifying, cleansing, and clearing out all stuck energy and blocks. Now I want you to focus your attention on your throat chakra. Focus on your throat chakra. You're going to send white light through the throat area, and then the golden Christ consciousness light, and then the violet flame right through the center of your throat here. And now you're going to focus on your third eye. Send that white light right through the center of your third eye, followed by the golden Christ consciousness, and then the violet flame for transmuting all the energy. And now focus on your crown chakra, top of your head. See that white light emanating right all around the crown of your head, and then the golden light, and then bring in a big burst of that violet flame. And now I want you to focus a foot above your head, which is your, what's basically called your soul star chakra. I want you to send the light, white light, and then golden light, and violet flame right through the top of your soul star chakra. Now I want you to just see your entire body filling from the top of the soul chakra, becoming a big column of bright light all the way down, and then connecting all the way into Mother Gaia below. And just focus on the sound. I'm going to play like a little kid now. Anyways, all right, I'll spare you that. All right. Come back into your selves now, and whatever you do, never ever, after we do a meditation like that, never ever stand up quickly. Do not use heavy machinery. You want to be sitting down, because when you get up really quick, your blood pressure is kind of low. Your blood pressure gets lowered when you meditate. And so do not get up really fast. Make sure you're sitting for a little while until you compose yourself. Maybe stretch to the right and stretch to the left. Stretch all around. Pull your shoulders back and stretch that way. Feels good on my sore little back. I'm going to bring this a little closer. Oop. Okay. All right. So let's get into the Yeshua stuff now. The messages and everything. Okay. So I'm going to talk about some controversial stuff, and I don't want my channel shut down, so I'm going to talk in code. I'm already in a lot of trouble, obviously, since they're unsubscribing my people. So I'm going to be talking in code as much as I can. Please bear with me. So in the country that starts with an I and ends with an N, they've unalived 50,000 plus young people, most of them under the age of 30, some people older. They actually have even followed ones that were wounded into the hospital and unalive them at point blank range with weapons, with pew pew pow pows or whatever they call them. It's just horrific. Every time I turn on social media, every time I look at social media, I have all of these people that are from that country, that are living in the US, that are getting information from their family members that are over there. Their power's been out, their internet's been off, but people have been getting messages out of the country. People have been smuggling all kinds of messages out of the country to let everyone in the world know what's going on. I'm going to ask all of you, first of all, to pray for all of those people in the country. I, ending in letter N, We need to pray for them, because these are people who are really kind, warm, wonderful people who never wanted this oppressive regime to come into their country and put them into utter slavery. Basically, they've all been slaves, especially the females have been treated like crap. Their head leaders have been saying for years that women are lower than cattle and farm animals, and were created by Allah for men to use as they please, which I find really disgusting and vile. That is what the radical version of this religion that starts with letter I, it's the radical version of what they do. They hate women. They hate women. They hate the feminine. They want to erase all the women off of the planet, which is why they cover them up completely with black and other covers, and except for their eyes. Some of them don't even let you see the eyes. They actually have a screen over the eyes. They want to erase women completely, and when they're able to not erase you and pretend like you're not there, they do the RAPE thing to women and children. They especially like to do it to children. It's disgusting, and there's all these vile things going on. And then I read an article today that in the ORTHODOXJEWISH culture, that the men in that culture that are the leaders of that religion, of that's a radical religious sect that's similar to the radical ISLAM sect, and a lot of them are RAPING children, mostly boys. I read, and this has been going on probably since ancient Bible times. They've been doing it. They have basically it's ritual, it's RSA, and they do it mostly to boys in their parts, and then they are sent home to their families bleeding out of their parts. A lot of them do it to their own children and females. They mostly do it to the males, but they also do it to the females as well, and to all their kids. This guy who blew the whistle, there was somebody in their community who blew the whistle, who caught them all doing it, and he was just grossed out and disgusted. They do it a lot in the country, ISRA, and then ends in letter L. They do it a lot there. And he said that in Brooklyn, New York, that 50% of the people there have been RSA'd when they were children by their own parents, neighbors, the heads of their religion, or whoever have RSA'd them. About 40%. It's a little lower with the females. It's, for some reason, they like to mostly do it to the boys. I don't know why. It's disgusting. I think it's a power thing. It's something to do with power. And it's also dissociates the kids and allows you to control them. It has to do with enslavement and control and mind control and just a lot of horrible things. So I was reading about that, and I was crying for those poor children. I've been crying for all these beautiful, every time I see a post with a person in country, IR, that has been unalived by their radical regime in the streets protesting for freedom. I look at the picture and I'm always amazed and horrified, because the people who they're showing in these pictures are not only young, really young people, like 20, 19, age 12, age 17, age 23, some maybe in their 30s. They're all gorgeous. Like the men, the boys and the men all look like beautiful men. I mean, they're just beautiful. They're so perfect. And the females, they're stunning, beautiful. They're so beautiful. And I was looking at two of them the other day, like a few of the girls and this one guy in particular. I'm like, they don't even look human. They look like angels. They're so perfect and beautiful. I'm like, they look like angels. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, shit. And then I got this whole download about who these people are that are all being unalived and why this is happening. And there's just terrible things happening all over the earth. And I'm not going to say any specific religion does these terrible things, because it turns out it's all of them. It's all of them. The Catholic Church has been RSAing babies and children and also unaliving them for 2,000 years, doing ritual sacrifices. The ISLAM, they don't do ritual sacrifices of the kids, but they do the RSA stuff to them. And then a lot of Christian pastors in different churches over the years, ever since there was Christianity, there's a lot of people in powerful leadership positions. Of course, politicians all over the world who do these terrible things to kids. So there's all these different horrible demons. And if you remember that one video I did where Yeshua explained that the people who do these things to children do not have a human soul. They either have a reptilian soul or they have a demon in them, or they're what's called a non-player character. They don't even have a soul at all, and they're just being used as a puppet by the dark ones. They're being controlled, because a person with a human soul would not harm a child like that. So all of these people, he reassured me again yesterday, because I was so upset after seeing all these posts. He reassured me that all of these horrible people that are doing these terrible things, and the people who are unaliving all these young people protesting for freedom in their country, they're all going to be removed, he said, from the earth forever. They will not be able to come back here again ever. They're done. They're being permanently removed. So there's that. But what he asked me to talk about is he wanted me to help myself and all of you to make more sense of what is going on. And I must admit to you that when I channel classes, I channel books, I channel card decks, whatever it is I'm channeling, whether I'm channeling a session, whether I'm channeling in a video talking to you all, sometimes I'll channel my higher self or God and talk to you all. When I do that, once I do it, I don't remember what I said. So like 20 minutes after I say it, I have no clue what I said, because it's not coming from my brain, and my memory has never been great. So, and it's been like that since I was a kid. So when I tell you guys things, and I'm channeling, I forget. And so the book behind me here, Ascension 101, which I have right here, when I channeled that book, once I channeled it, once I published it, once I had it edited and all that, and I published it, I never ever read it again. I never picked it up and read it. And I'll have people who want to talk to me about stuff that's in the book, and I'm kind of embarrassed because I don't always remember what's in the book. And the reason why is because a lot of it was channeled. So I remember the stuff where I know what it is. So like the whole section on how to raise your vibrational frequency, all the different things that you can do to raise your vibration, and the things that you can do to protect yourself against negative energy. That's in this book, Ascension 101. And those things I totally remember, because those things came from me from many, many years of research and practice. So the stuff in this book that came directly out of my brain, I remember it. But the stuff in this book that was channeled, I don't remember. And so one of those things happens to be making sense out of why do people die young. So I have a chapter in this book that's entitled, let me go to the beginning of this chapter. It's called Why Do We Get Sick and Die? And first I talk about why people get sick. I go into all the different reasons to explain it so you understand, and you can kind of apply all of this to your own life and to other people who you know. Then I go into reasons why people die too young. They die before it's their time. How do we make sense of why people are taken out early, children and whatnot? So I'm going to read to you this right from this chapter. I don't have it memorized, and I might expand upon it to kind of help you make sense of what is going on, because I looked at those. I will state first off, I was looking at those people and going, they look like angels. They're so beautiful. The girls are so stunning, gorgeous, and the guys are so handsome. And I actually heard God speak to me and say, yes, Kimberly, they are angels. They are embodied angels. They came here to be martyrs and to be in that place at that time for this specific event to help wake up the planet and help the people of that country take their country back and to be free from them, and to help everybody to stand up and fight for freedom. And so they're all incarnated angels, all of them. They're all incarnated angels, and they're martyrs. They signed a contract and said, I'm going to go in, I'm going to live this short little beautiful life, give my family lots of love, and then I'm going to stand up for this country and fight, and then they're going to, I'm going to leave here. And so that is one of the reasons that people will leave early. There's a lot of people that are unalived by the dark ones, that they were unalived voluntarily because they came in as an angel to teach other people a lesson. Okay. They came to teach others a lesson, or came to teach people how to take their power back, or came to teach people something. Okay. But they came to affect the whole planet, to change the frequency, to change the programs. Remember, this is a 1 year. So what is going to happen is, so last year, all of the governments were actually supposed to collapse last year. Okay. Everything was supposed to end last year. And then this whole year was supposed to be new beginnings, new leadership, new programs. But the dark ones threw a wrench in it again. And there's a war, and, Mikala was saying that Yeshua was showing her a visual of him and Archangel Michael in a boxing match against the demonic ones. They're in a boxing ring and they're boxing it out. And there's literally a match going on where first this side's winning, then that side's winning, then this side's winning, then that side's winning. And it goes back and forth. And they take turns. And so we were supposed to end all the darkness in 2025 because it was a 9-year. But the dark ones threw a wrench in it. And so this is new beginnings, which are still going to happen, but regimes have to end before the new people, the new leaders can take over and come in. So you've got countries that are collapsing right now, one by one, where you see people overthrowing their government and taking their country back. And it's going to ramp up horrifically in the next few months, where you're just going to see radical world protests everywhere. You're going to see a lot of protesting. You're going to see all kinds of events going on that's going to usher in new systems. And I don't know if you all remember, in the last video, he talked about the winds of change and the wind storms, the symbolic storms that are going to come through certain cities in the country. And literally a day or two after that, a little while after we did the video, what do you think happens? Now there's this huge storm going across part of the US that's wiping out electricity everywhere and putting everybody into a freeze. It's like the frozen tundra. And what happens when that happens is then the military can go in and they can remove the dark ones, okay? Because everybody is hiding in their houses because they can't, the roads are closed, the infrastructure, remember he said it's going to collapse infrastructure. So what happens is when everything comes to a halt, when you can't go to work that day because your house is buried in snow, or there's an ice storm, or there's no power, there's no nothing, no services around, you're stuck in your house to have downtime and hopefully go within and connect with God. But above all, it gives the white hats and the alliance a chance to go into the tunnels in those areas, or go into the governments in those areas and remove all of the bad actors. They have to remove all the bad actors, all the bad guys, all the reptilians, all of the crap is being taken away under cover of a storm. Okay, you know how many times they talk about storms in the patriot community? They talk about the storm is upon us. Okay, well, they use weather as warfare. Weather warfare has been going on for a long time. Even the white hats use weather warfare. So they are using this as a way to collapse the infrastructure and go in and take out the trash. Okay, so you need to understand that. So I'm trying to help you make sense of everything that's going on, because that's what Yeshua wanted me to do. I want you to understand that there's going to be a lot of, as he says, shit hitting the fan. There's going to be a lot of collapses of governments, a lot more protesting, possible civil wars, maybe even in this country, the USA. There's going to be a lot of that going on. But do not fear, do not fear, do not fear, because again, I will remind all of you, you are all safe and protected, and you have the power to place that same protection around your loved ones. Okay, all of you are all embodied angels, embodied Pleiadians, embodied Syrians, embodied Arcturians, embodied Andromedans. We're all starseeds. We all came here from higher dimensions, which means you are a very powerful being. The cabal has made you think you're a little wimpy, little weak human who has no power. You have all kinds of power. Everything that you speak, every time you speak out of your mouth, you're creating. Every time you think a thought, you're creating. Every time you do an action, you are creating. You are so powerful. So you can create protection around your family members. You yourselves already have little small armies of angels around you, protecting you to make sure nothing bad takes you out. But you can transfer all of that over to your family. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. So let's go into, why do people die too young? These are all the things that went into Ascension 101 in this chapter, in this section of the book. And by the way, this is available on Amazon in a print form. It's also in Kindle format. If you want it on your Kindle reader or whatever device you have, you can do it that way. But you can buy it on Amazon worldwide. It is available all over the world, but it's in English. I don't have it translated into other languages. And you can get that, and it's, I think, $20 or something. It's not very expensive, maybe 19. It might even be cheaper. I know Amazon discounts it a lot. But it's worth it because it's literally like the spiritual Bible. It literally should have been called the spiritual Bible instead of being called Ascension 101. I didn't name it Ascension 101. That was Yeshua's name, was Ascension 101, a roadmap for your soul. That was, Yeshua came up with that. I wanted to call it, what did I want to call it? The Spiritual Bible or something like that. I think I wanted to call it the Spiritual Bible. But all right. So, another title I had for that book when we were working on it was Classroom Earth Making the Grade. Because we're in a big classroom here. So, all right. So reasons why people die too young. Although there are several reasons people die too young, please keep in mind that all human souls have free will, and in the end it is up to us how, when, and why we die. Because of the law of free will, no human can be killed without their agreement. However, some people may have died because they were tricked by dark entities into that agreement. So there are some people who agreed to being taken out, but they were tricked. They were told, maybe in your last lifetime, oh, you were just so terrible, you did bad things, so as a repercussion for that, now you get to be taken out at age 22, or, and so it's a trick, all right? We always have free will to choose, but dark beings have influenced many people's choices for thousands of years on this earth. These are the main reasons why people die too young or before their time. Number one, babies and children die because they are little martyrs and teachers. They are teaching their family, friends, neighbors, community, and the world lessons of compassion, gratitude, love, forgiveness, and kindness when they get cancers and other illnesses and die, or when they are unalived by somebody else. It is always devastating when they die, but keep in mind that children and babies are pure souls and they go straight to heaven, okay? They don't go to hell ever, 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 ever. They don't go into the dark void or anything like that. They go straight to heaven. The people who are left behind experience the trauma and suffering of their loss, but the children are safe at home with our unconditional loving Creator. Number two, contract. You get to determine in your life plan or contract when you want to leave the earth and by what method. It's different for every person based on what they want to learn or experience, or which role they are playing in someone else's experience. Unfortunately, as mentioned above, some people have been tricked into bad contracts and wind up leaving when they don't want to go or still have unfinished business. Many people have escape doors built into their life contracts so that if things on earth get just too much for them, too much to handle, they can leave. My father used, this is a personal story, but my father used one of his escape doors because his life was unfulfilled and unhappy and he just didn't want to deal with it anymore. So he used an escape door and he left early. He was 78. He could have lived past 100 because he has longevity in his family. And his dad, my grandpa, who smoked tons of cigars and pipes every day and drank alcohol like a fish, lived into his like late 90s or something. He had a party lifestyle. He was a famous musician, and he had quite the lifestyle, but he lived into his late 90s. Okay. Learning and teaching. Number 3, some people die a specific way and at a specific age so they can learn lessons for themselves and also teach lessons to all the people around them. Number 4, some people are unalived by dark entities before it's their time. Some of those people may have voluntarily elected to have this happen, while others may have been tricked into it. The dark entities who do this are breaking universal codex and laws and will be held accountable for their crimes. So all of these beings that have been tricking humans in the false matrix into all kinds of crap on this planet, they will all be obliterated and basically they will be removed from here forever, permanently. Okay. Number 5, karma. Karma has been a real thing. Up until recent years, there was karma, or in the laws of karma and the lords of karma, and some people would actually go out early as a result of past lifetime karma. So like, let's say you were a Roman soldier and you unalive some poor innocent child, then maybe in your next life you come back and as a child you get unalived, and that was your karma for what you did. Now, karma was removed in 2012, and now what you have is what we call immediate accountability, or the boomerang of energy in the universe. So basically, whatever you put into the energy field of the universe will come back to you either immediately, like you'll have an immediate repercussion, or it will come back to you sometime in this life or whenever. It's just going to come back to you, and it could come back to you after death as well. But it's different than karma, because with karma, it was like this, a rat wheel cycle of samsara where the false matrix would trap your soul. They'd trick you and say, oh, you were bad. Now you got to go back and do it again. And then you do it again and do it again. And they'd shame you and say, oh, you're a sinner. Oh, you're bad. You have to go and have a suffering life. And karma has to do with suffering. And you'd keep coming in and doing suffering over and over again. That shit is done with. Yay! No more since 2012. Now, if you're a shitty person, you're going to get an immediate accountability repercussion. Okay, number 6, cabal depopulation plan. Oh, yay. A lot of people on Earth die younger than normal due to all the things implemented by the Dark Cabal as part of their world depopulation plan. I outline the things they do in the section on why people have illnesses. So I go really deep. I have a whole section on why people get sick, which is really good for all you guys to understand, because I have a lot of you messaging me all the time complaining about how awful your health is and why am I so sick? It's always the question that everybody asks. Why am I always so sick? Okay, well, read the book and you'll find out, because the book will tell you why you're always so sick. So number 7, black or dark magic. Curses, plagues, and dark magic are real. Yes, they are, unfortunately. Which is why if you don't want those things to happen, you get to take my class called Spiritual Protection 101, Defense Against the Dark Arts and Entities. And that's on Learn It Live. And what do you want to call it? The description below the video here has the link to all my classes. I have 13. It's 14 if you include the group, but I'm not doing the group anymore. So there's actually 13 actual pre-recorded classes on all sorts of things you need to learn for your ascension and for healing yourself, healing others. If you want to be an energy healer, you can learn a lot of that on there. But the biggest class of all, the most important for everyone, is called Spiritual Protection 101. That's going to protect you against curses and plagues and dark magic and black magic and witchcraft and demonic attack, ghosts, entities in your house. I teach you how to clear entities out of the house, All of that is in that class. It's an extremely comprehensive class. So, basically, these things have been used by demonic entities and dark beings for thousands of years to harm and kill humans and unalive humans. Again, if someone dies as a result of a curse, a dark magic spell, whatever, it's because they either agreed to it or they were tricked into it. Okay? They could be tricked into it. Sometimes people do agree to this kind of stuff because it's number 8, which is trying on different experiences, like playing a part in a play. Oh, I'll come back in this lifetime and be a railroad engineer that's run over by the train. Oh, in this life, I'm going to come back and be a kid that's RSA'd by the deep state, whatever. So number 8 is trying on different experiences, like playing a part in a play, which I talk a lot about the play of life in this book, Ascension 101, why we incarnated, who we incarnate with. And you're basically a Shakespearean actor, doing a different play every season with, sometimes the same players doing different roles. You come back with your same family a lot over and over again. But anyways, some people have die at a certain age or have a certain type of death as part of their soul experience and their journey of learning. It is just part of the learning experience. They say, oh, I'll go in and get my head chopped off as the wife to Henry VIII, or, something like that. All right. The good news is that because of the ascension that we are going through right now, all the false light beings, all the dark entities, all the cabal, the Illuminati, the World Economic Forum, all those people, the negative ETs, the others who have been committing crimes against humanity will all be held accountable now, punished and rehabilitated, or completely poofed into dust and recycled back to source for their millions of years of bad actions, because they've been doing this for millions of years. The good news, I already said that. And I said, yes, you read that correctly. Millions of years. The reptilians have been on Earth for thousands of years trying to destroy humans and feed on our suffering, along with the demons, by the way. However, before they came to Earth, they were doing the same thing over and over again in lots of other planets and universes for millions of years. They basically travel through the universe from planet to planet, lock the planet down in a matrix of fear and suffering. They feed off on the beings of that world until they destroy the planet, and then they blow it up, and then they move on to the next one and the next one. You got your Lyran Wars, your Orion Wars, all these things with all these, Maldek was blown up, all these different places, Malbec or Maldek, whatever it's called. Supposedly that's actually where I was there before it got blown up at one time. I was living there, and then we went to Sirius B because we didn't have a choice, and then we came to Earth. So this goes all the way back to the fallen angels you read about in the Holy Bible. They have turned their back on the light of God, but now they're going to be paying for all their crimes. Balance will be returned to the universe, and the light will always win. Okay? So I just wanted you to be able to make sense of why some of these terrible things are happening here on this earth right now, and why people are getting unalived way before their time. Because all of us shake our head and cry. I cry a lot over the kids and these young, beautiful people that are like beautiful, gorgeous 19-year-old girls and guys. This one boy was like 17 years old, and they're executing him because he was protesting. They're executing him. Yeah. They're executing a whole bunch of them. And then the rest, they're just, pew-pewing them in the streets with their weapons, and it's pretty horrific, actually. It's very horrific. So just wanted you guys to understand it a little better. So what can you do about all this? Well, guess what? You can pray, because prayer is the most powerful spiritual gift that you have. When you embodied into a human form, you were given the power of prayer. It is literally the most powerful asset you have. You need to pray without ceasing, just like the Bible tells you. There's a lot of things in the Bible that are very true, and then some, and prayer is a big part of that. Okay. All right. Card of the week. Drum roll, please. Actually, I have this. Anyways. All right. From the drum, the little drum thing, drumstick. This is the card of the week. It's beautiful little whoop. Let's see if we can. No, just kidding. Okay, 22. Card number 22. A lonely unicorn. And I got a confirmation of this earlier today because I went to pay for a package to ship off to one of my friends in Hawaii, and it was $22.22 to ship it to her. So it's called A Lonely Unicorn. So Yeshua might be giving you a more complicated message through Mikala on her channel, which is listed below. Christ Phoenix Rising Academy. It's listed below. He'll be giving you a more complicated message through her, possibly. But for now, he just wanted me to give you the interpretation that I channeled of this card, because he said this was the best one for what we are all going through right now. So if you drew this card, which this card was drawn for all of you, this is a card for, and when I say all of you, it's not for all the people on the planet. This card is specifically for all of my soul tribe that follows my videos and takes my classes, all of you guys that are here on YouTube. This is who this card is for. So he tuned into your collective body energy, you know, frequency, whatever, and said this card is best for you guys right now. Okay, a lonely unicorn. If you drew this card, you may be feeling lonely. You are probably a typical starseed who came to Earth for the ascension, but you just don't fit in anywhere. You are unique and different from the other humans on Earth. You don't fit in with your family, friends, neighbors, or coworkers. When you were in school, you didn't fit in either. Okay, you might have been bullied like I was. You are like a rare unicorn that needs to find its herd. Maybe your family and friends are not on the same frequency as you are, or maybe you don't have friends or family at all. Some of you guys have wrote me that you're literally all alone. You don't have any friends or family. And I'm sorry for that, but I have a solution for you here. That's what this card is all about. This card tells you it's time to reach out, go into the world, and make new like-minded friends so you won't be a lonely unicorn. You can do this by taking in-person classes somewhere in person, like at a community college or the library or wherever. Join a club, attend a meetup group or a business group, or go to a spiritual temple or church where you can meet people like yourself. If you do not have the ability to go out in person and meet people, then try the internet. There's all kinds of meetup groups that meet up on Zoom. There are plenty of spiritual groups on social media. The other way you can fill the loneliness void is to get yourself one or more pets, because pets are furry family members and they give you 100% unconditional love, and they're always going to bring you happiness and joy. One other thing that I didn't include in this description of this book, from this book, is you can also go volunteer at a pet shelter or a wildlife rescue, because that way you can make friends with the other wonderful, big-hearted, loving people, the other people who are working there. You're going to have something in common because you love pets, and they're all going to be heart-centered people. They're not going to be NPCs. You will never see an NPC working with animals ever. Okay. So they're going to be people with a soul, people who have a big open heart chakra. And those are your people, whether they're spiritual and awake. They don't have to be awake. It's just the idea that they're loving, good people. They will wake up, because people who work at those kind of places, they will all be sticking around for the ascension, whether they are asleep or not asleep. It doesn't matter, because they are resonating in the frequency of love, and that's what it takes to ascend. So, so I would recommend doing that. If you don't want to get a pet, maybe you live in an apartment where they don't allow you to have a pet, go walk dogs. Go sign up to be a dog walker. People pay a lot of money for that. And that way you can love on all the little furry pets, and you don't feel so alone, and you meet other people through doing these things. Go out to the park walking a dog of your own, and you meet new people in the park, you know, with dogs. You never know what kind of new friends you're going to make. And then I have another recommendation that's not in here, that's not in the booklet that goes with my card deck. For those of you who have the card deck, who've purchased it already, or you want to purchase it, the other idea is you go to a website called meetup.com if you're in the US. I think it's in Canada, and it might be all over the world. I'm not sure what all countries it's in, but if it's not in your country, trust me, there is another company that has a website like it. And it's basically a website where you put in your interests, like sewing or artwork or music or concerts or hiking. Like, my husband belongs to 2 hiking groups, and he goes out hiking with these groups of people every week. And he's made amazing friends in these groups, and the people he's made are just incredible people, like really, really amazing, beautiful people that he's made friends with. And what I noticed is a lot of these people in the meetup groups, they're not NPCs either, because usually the people who want to hang out with others and they want that connection, they want that soul connection, or that human connection, they want it because they're not an NPC. So go to meetup.com if you can, put in your location, your zip, and then you can say how far you want to travel. I want to travel 5 miles from home. I want to travel 10 miles. I want to travel 20 miles. And then it'll show you all the meetup groups that are in that category. So you put in spirituality, put in energy healing, meditation, metaphysics, divination, psychic stuff. They have psychic meetup groups, healing groups, yoga groups, Tai Chi groups. They have groups for everything. You know, they have groups for coin collectors, groups for rock collectors, all kinds of rock collecting groups where they go out rock hounding together. They have travel groups if you're all by yourself and you want some partners to go travel the world with, because you don't want to get unalived in some foreign country somewhere being by yourself. There's groups for that as well. So that is my big tip for all of you. I'm part of Meetup, and honestly, I moved 400 miles away. This was like 8 years ago. I moved about 400 miles away from where I had lived like most of my life, like for a huge amount of my life. And when I moved, I didn't know a single person in the area that I moved to at all. Nobody, zero, zip. Just my spouse and my kids who came with me. That was it. And so what did I do? I joined a meetup group, and I started going to spiritual meetups, and I made a whole bunch of beautiful, amazing, awake friends. So I recommend that the first word you put in the meetup thing is spiritual groups near me. And then you put in how many miles you're willing to travel. The farthest I wanted to go was like 15 miles, I think, or something like that. So yeah, just put that in, and it's going to help you so you don't feel like a lonely unicorn. And just to remind you, if you do want the card deck, and this is the guidebook that I printed it out. It's 29 pages in the guidebook. If you print them front to back, if you print them double-sided, it's only 15 papers that it takes up. If you print them single, it's 29 pages. But this is the guidebook that goes with the cards, with my oracle cards. That's called Elementals of Gaia. And if you want that, contact me through my website, spiritualgrowthjourneys.com, and the link is down below. Contact me on there and say interested in oracle cards, and then say where you live, which state, which country. Actually, you don't need to say the state if it's USA. just say USA. If you're in Canada, say Canada. And if you're in Europe or Australia or wherever, the reason why is because I have to charge you. The card deck costs $55. That's the cost of the deck is $55. But I have to charge for the shipping, and the shipping all over the world is ridiculous. They want, well, just put it this way, I just shipped a deck to, I think it was Ireland. I think it was Ireland, and it was like $62 or something like that. And that was with the cheapest rate that can be trackable and insured or whatever, or at least trackable, so that we're able to track where it is and that it got to the location. If I sent it like the cheapest way, which would be quite a bit cheaper, there'd be no tracking, no insurance. And then if the mail would take, first of all, the cheapest one, if I was sending it to like Australia, it would take 2 months to get there. It's ridiculous. So the way I'm sending it is actually priority mail. And the priority mail, if you're in the US, you get it just like in a few days. And if you're in Canada, it's maybe a couple extra days. And if you're outside of the US, it's like a week or something, as opposed to like several weeks or several months. I think the longest it's taken anyone to get it is 2 weeks down to Australia, mate, or New Zealand. So, anyways, I know the Aussies like to call it Oz. They like to call it Oz down there. The mail going down there is slower than molasses in January. That's an old-fashioned term. But yeah, sorry about that, guys. So it could take 2 or maybe even 3 weeks if it's held up in customs. Like especially if I send it somewhere like Asia or Philippines, it can get caught up in customs or something and maybe take a little longer to get to you. But anyways, message me through there, and you should hear back from me within, I think, 24 to 48 hours if it's a weekday. If you're messaging me on a Friday, you won't hear back from me till Monday. But if you don't hear back from me within a day, 1 to 3 days, you need to check your spam folder. Okay. And that is because I'm finding out my emails are going into a lot of people's spam folders. So please check for it there. And the same thing with what I do is once you order the card deck, I send you the tracking number and I send you the PDF copy to print out for yourself of the guidebook. So as soon as you get your deck, you're able to use it immediately because you have that book ready to go. And it also gives you a chance to read through the book so you pre-understand what all the cards are about and how to use them and I talk about how to ground center and protect yourself. I give you step-by-step directions for that because you don't want to get demons interfering with you or something like that, or negative ETs interfering with your divination with your cards. So anyways, that's all I have to say for today. There's nothing else, folks, this week. I hope this information was helpful for you. And again, please like the video so more people can see it. Maybe even leave a comment, because the more comments that you leave and the more likes, then the more it goes up in the analytics and higher up, and then my videos are seen by more people, because they're really trying to blacklist the crap out of me for sharing too much truth. And make sure you are subscribed, because they have been unsubscribing my people by the hundreds. It's really bad. So thank you all. I love you all. Take care. Sending you all big hugs. Hugs. And of course, when I meet you in person, I'm going to want to give you a hug. So anyways, take care. I'll see you next time. Bye.